Welcome back to the Marching Arts Network. I'm the Stress Master. Thank you all for joining me on this video. We truly appreciate you being here, and thank you guys so much for all your support and all that we do. We want to make sure we're bringing you as much as we can during the season so that you get all the information if you're not already getting it from somewhere else. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing, it would truly help us out. It would truly help you out, get notified when we have cool videos like the one you're watching right now. So thank you guys so very much. All right, what we have is a cool show. I really dig this drum corps. I found this drum corps in 2022. Actually, did I see them in 2021? I may have seen them in 2021 during the celebration, the pandemic year. I'm trying to remember if I saw them. I'm pretty sure I did, but I really got turned on to them in their 2022 production, Gasoline Rainbows. Really fantastically cool show. I highly recommend watching it. I actually did a reaction to it. Maybe I'll put it up here. But it's a really, really cool show. It's fantastic. The staff really knows how to put together a show. They do a great design, great color, great like staging of events and stuff like that. So we're gonna watch all that here in just a moment. But let's look at the show and kind of what it is. So it's called It Tolls for Thee. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you haven't, you are now. So the program information, It Tolls for Thee is a journey through the unstoppable passage of time where every moment draws us closer to an inevitable end. So there's a clock. You guys are going to see that, and it basically goes around. So it's kind of cool. With each toll of the bell, the weight of fate grows heavier, binding all souls in a shared destiny. As time fractures, races, and finally stills, we are left with the haunting truth. The final call is not for others, it is for us all. So very cool. I did find the original poem here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. By John Donne. This is, I think, in the 1600s. No man is an island entire of itself. Each is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less. As well as if a promontory were, as well as if manner of thine own, or of thine friends were, each man's death diminishes me. For I am involved in mankind, therefore send not to know, for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. So really cool, really cool. And I did go back and look at their previous placements and scores just to kind of get an idea. And you can look before the pandemic, they were consistently in like 27th place, 24th, 21st, 23rd. After the pandemic, now they're consistently in 17th place. I think they're better than this. I know other corps are maybe performing at a different level, higher level, but what they do in terms of content, I think is really, really good. So, and this is the show I was talking about, Gasoline Rainbows. 2023 was Violent Delights, A Rose and Its Thorns. 2024, Leave It at the River. I really like this show too. It was really cool. It was like fishermen and stuff like that. So it was pretty darn cool. So this show is completely going the opposite direction. Really dark. Very well done. And we're going to watch it here in just a moment. But let's go ahead and switch over to that. I really like the uniforms. Very well done.
Performing their 2025 program, It Tolls for Thee.
This is the clock I was talking about. These are the bells. Cool platforms. See what I mean? A really great staging here. And it leads down to that clock.
Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.
Interesting hats or shakos. They're not really shakos, but hats. I'm going to crank it up, sorry. I turned it down earlier, but... Really good detail in the uniforms. The guard uniform complements really well. Complimentary guard work. I'm going with the musical phrasing. Nice. Sorry, the recording is like it staggers and stutters quite a bit. It was the feed. Nice. Wow, that was really well done. Now the clock is going to shift.
Men stand alone, yet all souls are bound.
Sorry, that's camera. Holy moly. Some really cool stuff going on. Almost a little over rotation on the saber, but was able to recover. That's a really cool color there. It's like an orangish. Is that orange? I think it's just pure orange. See what I mean? Like a really well-constructed show. Very, very thoughtful, very eye-pleasing in terms of like colors and palettes and things that are happening. It's really just a matter, I think, of cleanliness and like what's the word I'm looking for?
Forward.
It's just the way that they carry themselves is not super confident yet. I'm sure by the time we get to finals, it will be super confident. But like the way they move and posture and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to look at the recaps to see where they're at, caption-wise and stuff like that. I need to crank this up. It's just not loud enough for me. Nice. Very cool. I really think the contrast of the guard uniform to the core proper works really, really well. I like that, like, dark red. I was trying to figure out what that, what they're spinning on the number 2 side of the field. Oh, it's the clock. I was like, okay, I couldn't figure out what they were spinning, but it's the clock, like hour and minute. Nice. I've been noticing a lot, like the pit is like ducking out of the way now during certain parts of the show.
Sky, just before you die, silence so loud.
Uh-oh. There must have been some sort of audio thing that was missing. But they stayed in character. That's really good. Hard to hear the mellophone. Must be going through the speakers and then you're not picking it up on flow. Interesting build here. Okay, it's him. I thought it was... Nice. Really good. Really good sound. I can tell there's some help in the synth with the lower end.
In the end, all souls hear the call.
Blue Devils and Blue Coats started this trend of bopping with contorted positions, and everybody's doing it now. Nice with the trumpets. Wow. Okay.
From Nashville,
all right.
Tennessee, under the direction of Chaz Bledsoe, Music City.
Really well done. All right, let's break it down here. Okay, well, tell me your guys' thoughts in the comments below, because I mean, I thought it just kind of blows my mind how good all these cores are now. And not like they were bad before, but it's just the level is different. It's different. That like all 20 are just, the differences are performance and execution of elements. Content is sometimes a factor, but for the most part, the content I think is really good. I mean, look how good this show is. If they were in the top 12, you would be like, that is a top 12 show. That is a cool show. But the execution's not there. The confidence is not there. You can see there's interval things happening throughout the show. Not bad, but you can just tell the difference between the top 12 and the lower section from 13 to 20, just based on those kind of elements like confidence, execution of elements, sound a little bit. They have some pretty good dynamic contrast and control, but you can tell they don't have a big full sound like the top 12 horn lines do. Not that it's bad. It's not bad. Like I said, I've been very impressed with this core for the last 4 years, 4 seasons. Really good show design. You can tell the staff really knows what they're doing. They really do know what they're doing. It's well structured, well paced. The show concept is not so far out there that you can't follow along. It was very easy to understand, very easy to get what the show concept was. They executed it from beginning to end. The clock was permanent. They didn't move props. I think that's what's happening a lot now. There's so many prop movements in all these different shows that it gets a little bit distracting, because then you're taking performers away from performing just to move props. And I'm guilty of it. I've done it too. I did a show once where we had, God, how many did we have? 16 different backdrops. Basically, we tried to make them like mirrors. The show was called Reflection. So, but man, they were a pain. I moved them consistently throughout the show, and it took a lot away from actual performance. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's okay, but for me, sometimes it can be a little distracting. This is very open. The field, I'm going to go back over to there real quick. You can see right here, they have the field kind of outlined, right? This is their performance area right here. They do not really go beyond it. And in fact, I don't think they ever go beyond it, which is smart. Very, very smart, especially if your core is a little bit smaller, less horns, less people, but they still have a huge stage. Look how far back we go, back almost all the way to the back sideline here. On the 50, it's probably maybe about 8 steps down. And they only go out to the 20 here, but they go all the way out here. And then you have your focal point, which is your clock, down in the number 2 side. So, I mean, really smart, really well done. But I really am enjoying the shows this year. And I know sometimes we have opinions like, I'm not connecting with the show concept or whatever. But I mean, for the most part, all these cores are amazing. They're great. So please make sure you support them. Please make sure that you keep this activity alive, because I know that it's a struggle every year for these cores to go out and perform and raise money and do what they have to do to provide this activity. When I marched, it was still expensive, don't get me wrong, but it was a lot less. Gas was, I think when I marched, gas was about $1, maybe $1.25, $1.30 in California. I remember when in 1990, gas was 79 cents a gallon, and diesel was probably maybe $2. But I mean, just the difference now in cost is so dramatic. It's so much worse, especially like for cores like on our end, California, to even just get out there, it costs a lot of money. I remember when the Mandarins, when they were in the lower divisions, they would actually do the whole tour down here, all the ones down in Southern California. They would rehearse for a week or 2, and then they would fly out and do a tour. And like about, it must have been middle of tour somewhere. And then they would just, rent buses there and then finish out their tour and then fly back home. So that was more cost effective for them. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. Truly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And please make sure that you subscribe, like I said, so you get notified when we have cool videos like the one you're watching right now. And our podcast is available on YouTube Music. If you want to go there, you can go to the podcast section and search for the Marching Arts Network. And you can listen in your car whenever you want, or you can listen to any of our other videos through our playlist. So you can go into our YouTube page and look at the different playlists. We have lots and lots of different videos. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, you know what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. But when you do it, you got to march on. Thank you guys so much.